contributions. He will now pass the basket. This is a weekly STEP meeting. Our format is as follows. A speaker is asked to talk for 25 to 30 minutes on the STEP of that week, followed by discussion or questions until 7 p.m. You can find these weekly meetings on our YouTube page, the Conscious Contact Speaker Group of Doylestown. Don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe, and share. That brings us to the speaker portion of the meeting. On October 11th, 2021, in Doylestown, Pennsylvania, at the Monday night 6 p.m. Stay Alive Literature and Step Group at St. Paul's Lutheran Church. Tonight's speaker is Jerry, and he will be sharing his experience on 6 and 7. Please help me give Jerry a warm welcome.
Hi, I'm Jared. I'm an alcoholic.
Hey, Jerry.
I've been sober for about a little over 3 years. July 5th, 2018, I think. Actually came in right around the time that my friend Sherry here came in, and we were pretty sad. We were pretty beat up. So beat up that I always say, I remember I walked in with a friend of mine who'd been sober for about 10 years, and I said, "That poor girl, can you please help her? Like she was so like because I felt like she's like you could see it, you could see the pain, and I just like I walked into AA and I started to feel like almost immediately, which I had never felt anything except anger, resentment, frustration, just sick all the time. And it started pretty young. I have a lot of character defects, and like I said, they started very young. And my father is an alcoholic, still to this day. He was pretty angry all the time. There was a time in our life where it was good, and I recently asked my mom why, and she said, well, he wasn't drinking. And I didn't know that. I didn't even know about alcoholism at all until I came into the program 3 years ago. And he was constantly raging and freaking out over everything. We weren't allowed to ask questions. You had to get everything right the first time, and if you didn't, you got yelled at. It was brutal. And I even worked for him after college to the point where we were fist fighting in the middle of the office because I asked a question. But yeah, so I got all those same things, and I was always angry, always yelling at everybody, and then I would try and get rid of those feelings. I was mad at myself. I was mad at the people around me. I didn't know what was going on. I had no idea. I thought I was a pretty good person, but I had so much stuff inside me. And I was taught to, bury it. The thing to do is just stuff it inside, push it down further, And, I remember I was pretty upset one day. In college, I broke up with this girlfriend. We broke up, and I was distraught. I thought I was going to spend the rest of my life with this woman. And we broke up, and I was like, my father picked me up. I was like crying in the car. He's like, "Get a hold of yourself! Like, why are you crying?" And I think I held that inside up until like recently, and it really made it difficult to have any kind of relationships in my life. We moved a lot, and that also created a lot of connecting with people, and then people falling off and not seeing people all the time. So I had a lot of my mom moving away. I was afraid to get close to anyone. I was afraid to get hurt. When I was younger, my parents took my animals, and when I was gone for a couple weeks and took them to the SPCA, like I just didn't want to have anything to do with anyone. And I did everything possible to ruin every relationship that I had because I was afraid. And fear is one of my biggest character defects, and I didn't know that. I thought that wasn't afraid of anything. You know, jump out of airplanes and hang glide over, you know, I'll jump off of mountains. It was whatever I could do to get a high because I had no, I think I look back, I'm like, I had no feelings. I was just trying to feel something. Now I'm sober and I'm cautious about everything. I'm like, whoa. Totally different feeling. But fear, anger, resentment. I pray every day that I can get through the day without hurting someone, hurting myself, and mainly just being able to give love and lead with love. It's really important to me in this program. That's one of the things that kind of got me here. Is I wanted to fall. I later on, not about 6 years ago, I was with a woman, and I told her, I said, we started to get close. I said, I don't know how to love. I don't know how to love you. I don't. And I said I want to, but I didn't. I was honest, and so she's like, well, you can fix that. Go to therapy. I went to therapy. I got something out of that, but it eventually led me to getting worse because I thought that nothing could help me. I was drinking more, smoking pot. I couldn't sleep, and I just wanted to kill myself. I was trying to figure out ways to, tie a cord to my rafter and, be done. I was done. I finally called my friend who had been in the program, and I admired her because she was a wreck. I knew her from way back, and she was a real wreck. I thought if she could do it, I could do it. And she took me in the sobriety group, and that's when I saw Sherry. And I knew right away I was in the right place. I knew right away. Just like even seeing Sherry, we were feeling the same thing. But I heard the stories and I heard people share. And though I would never probably have seen any or been around any of those people in that group outside of that scenario, I had a lot in common with everybody there. And as a matter of fact, I tried to go there a few times before that. And I don't know if you guys know the old sobriety group. You kind of walk down this alley, which if I was a woman, I would never, ever go down there. Because all you can see is scary looking motorcycle dudes out front. And I was afraid to walk down there. I'm not going there. I don't know what's going on back there. So I admire any woman who went into that group. But much easier to walk through a church door. And through the program, I knew I wanted what everybody else had. I wanted to get better. I wanted to not feel the way I did. So I just opened up, and I just accepted everything that I was told and tried to do the best that I could. Shortly after I got in the program, I got a sponsor. I think I stuck with him too long because I realized early on he was way too much like me, and I really didn't want to be like me. I wanted some other person to look up to, and but it all worked out. I eventually was looking for someone else, and my current sponsor happened to be the son of a man who saved me from myself when I was younger. He was my gymnastics coach in high school. And I was scared. I was alone. I had moved to another place. I came to a new school, and I just had nothing. And my father's like, "You need to get into a sport. You're bored." So I went out for gymnastics, and this guy, I was nervous as I always am around people, and I went to the window after he spoke about the season, and for some reason he came up, put his arm around me, and he said, "It's going to be all right." And no one ever told me that before. And I didn't know the impact then, but he saved my life. Everything changed from there on in. I wanted to make him proud. And sorry. And he I never cried before I got sober, by the way. and I just worked really hard. I became his like number one athlete. Um, like top athlete in the city. I went on, got a scholarship to Temple University, and almost all my friends now are from that program. The gymnastics program, and I'm grateful because I was busy instead of drinking and getting messed up. So it was a time in my life that I was able to focus on something besides drugs and alcohol. And yeah, the fact that we wound up connecting, his son and I, and he's much younger than me. I had seen him, my coach would invite me to his house for dinner, and his son was maybe like 6, and I was 16, so I'm like, a little kid. So I didn't really know who he was, but I had seen him at sobriety. We saw each other at Edge Fitness, and he's like, "You want to work out?" I said, "Sure." And we were sitting on the ground, and he's like, "What do you want to do?" I said, "I don't know. I don't really like the gym. I'm like bored in here." He's like, "Oh, well, you kind of look like you're in shape." I was like, "Well, I was a gymnast." He's like, "Oh, really? What's your name?" Because he kind of thought he knew me, and I told him, he goes, "Oh my God, my dad was your coach." So, wow. So he became weird because he's a great guy, Matt Kay. I don't know if you know Matt, right? But yeah, so it's all these things in sobriety. It's constant, never ending. When I work the program, everything works for me and the people around me. I'm constantly in the right place at the right time, whereas it used to be the opposite. And it's all about, for me, I'm here, like literally I told Sherry, I said, I need a new sponsee. She's like, "Well, come out to Doylestown. And I'm gonna kill you later." I know, this is the last thing I thought I'd be doing, but I need it, I need to do these things because it's really important for me to work the program and to try and lessen my character defects, and which are many, and they're always trying to creep up. And all I want to do is be able to connect with people, connect with my daughter. I now have a cat, which I never thought in my wildest dreams. I actually didn't like cats when I was younger. I was like, I was probably pretty mean to cats, now I got a cat that's kind of like scratches me up a bit. I feel like I'm getting it back. But he's amazing, and we go for walks. Like, he follows me around the block. People are like, "You're walking with your cat?" I'm like, "This kid's cat's like amazing. We were on the playground yesterday. I took a video and sent it. People are like, "Wow, that's your cat." And I whistle, he comes, he sits, he gives me his paw. Because I didn't know the cats weren't supposed to do that. So I trained him like he was a dog. And people would come over who have cat people, and they sit, and I whistle and then tell them to sit. And they're like, they were just lost their minds. They didn't know what was going on, and I had no clue. So I have all these great gifts, and the biggest gift is that I know how to help other people now, and that's precious. And it's this program. It's amazing. It's amazing. And who would have thought that 12 steps could change my life and take away the pain and replace it with love and joy and peace. And I don't really know if I'm doing a good job up here, but I'm just trying to give you a little bit about how this program has helped me and what it could do for anybody, I believe. Even Al-Anon, or even if you're not a drinker, I believe everybody should try and get in touch with themselves and get spiritual in whatever way they possibly can. Well, that's pretty much it. Jared Alcoholic.
Now we're going to open up the meeting. Please limit your sharing to 3 minutes. Please keep your shares related to this step. If you feel like drinking, or if you had a drink today, please see me or speak to someone after the meeting. We ask that you please refrain from the use of profanity. We are in a church and on a spiritual journey. And now I'd like to open up the meeting.